Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem Rakakwadash. And I want to say Shalom to you Akim Nakwat out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. This one's the second part, part 2 of Melch, the elect of Israel. And, yeah, man, getting right back into it. And as soon as I said that, I want to go and grab the scripture, because I didn't really explain yesterday what Melch is. But let's see if I can find it. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. As newborn babes. Let me see. Right here. 1 Peter 2 and verse 2. And it reads, as newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. And you know what, matter of fact, let's just pop on over. So it's in verse 3, it says, if so be ye have tasted that the Lord is gracious, right? So I wanted to hop over there. So again, 1 Peter 2 and 2, as newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that you may grow thereby. And I really should have explained this yesterday, so salakia for that. Because, you know, these milk lessons are really meant for people that are just coming in. And this is, of course, assuming that you already know who the Lord is. All right, the Father being Yahweh, the Son being Yahweh Shai. All right, there's a lot of stuff you'd get before you start learning things about the elect. Of course, you need to learn how to pray and how to repent, right, and call upon the Lord. That's first thing you come in. Boom, learn the name of the Lord, the Father and His Son. All right, because it's not God and Jesus Christ. It's Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Ba'Hashem. Ba'Hashem means in the name of. Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, the Father in the name of the Son, because as it says in Scripture, no man can reach the Father but through me, roughly paraphrasing. So, you can't just call on Yahweh and you can't just call on Yahweh Shai. You have to say Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, right? So, yeah, man, that's assuming you know all these things, right? Then you would go to things like this, all right? But milk, it's what you give babies. Right? You're not going to give them steak. They won't be able to chew it up. They're not going to understand it. They're not going to get it. It's not something they'll be able to digest. Okay? So milk is the simple topics, you know. Learning the name of the Father, the Son, learning about the elect. Okay? And the elect can get a little bit meaty in parts. All right? But it's milk in its nature. All right? Some are chosen, some are not. And yeah, man, so you want to make sure when you're coming to this truth, you're not trying to, like there's a scripture, roughly paraphrasing, that says, hast thou found honey, eat so much as is sufficient for you, lest you be full and vomit, roughly paraphrasing, something along those lines. If a brother wants to post it, he can post it. So you don't want to, when you come in, you want to, take some sips of the milk, okay? You don't want to, same thing with the honey, eat a little bit, make sure it's sufficient. You don't want to start guzzling honey, man. If you eat a jar of honey, you're going to puke, okay? If you give a baby steak, they're going to choke, all right? They might even die, right? So it's not something you should do, all right? You need to go at a moderate pace, okay? Make sure that you're, because you're going to have that, like, oh, man, I just found all this wisdom and knowledge. I need to learn all these things, and it'll come in time, man, okay? So you need to drink the milk, all right? Sip it like a baby would, all right? A little sip here and there. Don't just chug that bottle down. Give you a stomach ache, right? You don't want that. So, wanted to preface the lesson with that, all right? Because I should have said that yesterday, because that's describing what milk is. But yeah, so we're here now through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai for part 2, dealing with the elect. So I'm gonna scroll down here to part 2. And if you haven't seen part 1, I'd recommend going and watching part 1, because there's going to be certain things in here that we explain that you might not understand if you don't watch yesterday's lesson. So today, where we're starting out, is John 15 and 15 through 16. And it reads, let's go from verse 12. Let's go from verse 9. All right, there's a lot. This whole chapter is fantastic. Let's go from verse 9. John 15:9. As the Father hath loved me, notice this is red letter, so this is Yahushua speaking. As the Father hath loved me, so have I loved you. It's powerful right there. Continue ye in my love. If ye keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love. So keeping the keeping of the commandments is love, right? Even as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. And if you love me, keep my commandments, right? Remember that? And verse 11, these things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be full. This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. And that doesn't mean love everybody. This is talking about Israel. Okay, the commandments were given to Israel, so it's dealing with Israel. Okay, not telling you to love the Edomite that shot your wife, all right, and killed her and then cannibalized her. No, that's not what it's saying, right? Yeah, he says love everybody. No. No, love one another. One another being Israel. It says, greater love hath no man than this, that a man lie down his life for his friends. Ye are my friends, if you do whatsoever I command you. And this is really, speaking of those that are, calling others truth and, more than likely end up as part of the elect, right? It says, henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth. But I have called you friends, for all things that I have heard of my Father I have made known unto you. Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you that ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it you. There you go. So, again, going back to if you pray, you got to believe. All right, we're all guilty. But I know I'll admit, first and foremost, I'm guilty sometimes, and I got to recorrect that mindset, man. You'll panic, and there's a scripture it talks about man, I just saw it the other day. Let me see. This is a good learning lesson. When fear come faith. It's a psalm. Matthew 8:26 is fine. It says, and he said unto him, why are ye faithful, O ye of little faith? That one's great. Isaiah 41:10, fear thou not, for I am with thee. That one's good. That's part of it. Bear with me. Let me see. I'm gonna close out of this, and I'm gonna find it, and then I'm gonna come back. So I'm piecing together. 1 minute. All right. So here it is. This is Proverbs 29:25. It says, "The fear of man bringeth a snare, but whoso putteth his trust in the Lord shall be safe." So it goes to show, fear is it's just gonna hold you back. All right. So like I said, I'm guilty of it. You'll have fear, and it'll be a snare to you, and it'll hold you back. You feel, oh my God, right? Because you have that fleshly fear on you when you should be putting your trust in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So, yeah, man, like it says, whatsoever, at the end of verse 16, that whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it you. So, going back into faith. So, we're as friends to Yahushai, be it that we keep his commandments. Okay? Like, and he says, I call you not forth as servants. I mean, we are indebted to Yahweh Shem Yahushai and servants in a way, but we're friends with Yahushai. Okay, friends, you know, they help each other, all right? And if Yahushua is keeping his end of the bargain, we got to keep ours, man. And again, you know, that doesn't, again, there's a lot with this. It's not that you did, I spoke about that yesterday, I believe a little bit, you know, just because you kept the law perfect doesn't mean that, you know, you're a part of the elect, okay? That's not, you know, is it a good sign? Yes, but, you know, there might be a time where you know, do your best and then all of a sudden you stop, all right? And Lord willing, we don't, bear with me, Slakia, 1 minute. Slakia, had a phone call coming in that we had to take care of. Slakia. But yeah, man, kind of lost my train of thought, but, yeah, anyway, moving on, Slakia. But, you know, the Lord is merciful, all right? If the Lord's keeping his end, we got to keep our end. And it's a good sign if you're, you know, doing what's right, okay? Again, like I said yesterday, but there might, you know, you could fall out. That's why you have to pray and believe. Now, do we believe we're a part of the 2/3? No, absolutely not, all right? Lord willing, no. Again, going back to yesterday's lesson, talking about why we say Lord willing, all right? And a matter of fact, since we're here today, I want to get that, all right? Lord will. James 4:15 says, for that we ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or that. And actually, let me see if I go to verse 14. Right here. Yeah, we'll get 14 and then we'll get back to 15. Let me just pull them up all together. James 4:14, whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow. That's tomorrow. You don't know what tomorrow is going to bring, right? It says, for what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time and then vanish away. Right? And then vanisheth away. Slakia. Verse 15, for that ye ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or that. So that's why we say Lord willing. All right? Or if the Lord wills it to be. If the Lord wills it to be so. We'll say different slogans like that. Little things like that, because, you know, we don't know, all right? We have no idea. So continuing on, lessons within lessons, you know, we got to say, Lord willing, we're part of the elect. Now, does it look hopeful? Yeah, it looks hopeful for us, but we can't be 100% for sure. There's been men in GMS that, you know, and you know, that I've seen that, you know, the apostles, you know, even seen, of course, them being the apostles, they would be the ones that would be watching over. And of course, I'm not part of GMS, but that's who I learned from. That there's some of these guys you never would have thought. Like I mentioned GMS Dreamer yesterday. That's not someone you ever would have thought, you know, would have just bugged out like that and become a reprobate. But he did, right? He did. So, and it shows you, man. There's no one's protected from that unless they're the elect. You don't know at the end of the day who what's going on in the back, what the Lord has planned, right? Usually there's little signs and stuff. And from what I heard, there was signs, I guess. I don't know if it was necessarily with GMS Dreamer, or I'm not going to, Dreamer or whatever he calls him, but formerly GMS Dreamer, because he's not GMS anymore, because he got kicked out. You know, and he got kicked out in a bad way. There's been people that have been kicked out of GMS, or let go, essentially, that was on not as harsh terms. All right, I'm not going to mention any names, all right, from people, but there's a few that come to mind. But there's no animosity between, you know, that elder and those brothers, all right? And that's why I say brothers, because they're still technically brothers. At least as far as I know, they're still, I don't know if they're teaching, but they weren't teaching up to code with GMS's standards as how many times a week they should have been making videos or something like that. I'm not in GMS, so I wouldn't know the whole thing. All I know is from what the apostle said. Public information to, you know, the flock. And, but he said there's no animosity, there's no hatred, just they weren't up, he had the final say, and, you know, then there's that. And then there's people that bug the fuck out and fall out, and they're not on good terms, all right? The Boston reprobates are not on good terms, all right? So, you know, it's just one of those things where you don't know, right? You have no idea. And, you know, that brother that you know, those guys that were teaching at one point with that elder, they're not teaching with him anymore, and now that elder has a new brother with him, all right? And, hey, it's a beautiful thing, man. So, something might happen for a time, a season, then you might, again, I'm saying this because you got to be humble, you got to have humility. You can't think you're above anything. All right. Do we think we're going to fall out? No. Do we hope we don't fall out? Absolutely. We hope and pray that we don't fall out. We hope we continue in this truth. All right. And do what's right and according to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. But you can't ever get to the point and say, the Lord's never going to kick me out. I'm me. I'm so-and-so. Right? You know, I have this breakdown. I've been doing this. The Lord's got me for sure. Yeah, 100%. Right? You can't, you know, you can say the Lord's got me and be 100%, you know, faithful and hopeful. Say, yeah, the Lord's got me 100%. Right? But you can't say I'm a part of the elect for sure. The Lord's gonna save me for sure, no doubt about it. And I have a better chance than anybody out here, right? You can't, because that goes into pride, and the Lord could make that. Now you should be hopeful and say, yeah, Lord willing, I'm gonna be a part of the elect. Lord willing, the Lord's gonna keep me in this truth. I'm gonna keep on continuing on, Lord willing. And hey, everything's gonna go all well, Lord willing. May it be the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, right? But you can't be like, yeah, 100%, no doubt about it, Lord's going to save me, all right? No, you can't. That's pride, all right? And those are the type of people, if you're like that, the Lord will make you bug out and say, yep, there you go, yep, all right? It's not the right mindset, okay? Again, no amount of way you think or do or you made 15,000 lessons every single day is going to make you a part of the elect, but there's elect behavior and non-elect behavior. It's just like when you can tell a 2/3. You can just tell a 2/3. Okay? But there might be people that don't seem like a 2/3 now. They'll end up bugging at you like, that motherfucker's a 2/3 because he did that. Right? So you just got to be careful, man. Let me grab a drink here. You never want to boast and become prideful. Right? That's, you know, going back again, by grace you saved through faith, not of works, lest any man should boast, because you know, the Lord set that up in a perfect way so you couldn't boast about it. All right? Why would you boast? Oh, I'm all part of it. Even if you knew, if you got a slip right now, Yahushua himself came down, handed you a slip and said, yep, here you are. This is your placement. You're part of the elect. What do you do? Yeah, I'm a part of the elect. Yep, sure am. Yep, me. Why are you going to boast? Did you choose that? What did you do? You didn't do nothing. You didn't do a damn thing. Nothing. The Lord chose you. You should be praying Yahweh Shem Yahushai at that moment. Call out Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Thank you so much for choosing me. Barak the Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Barak the Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Right? But there'd be some dudes that, but yeah, I'm part of the elect and you're not. Well, that's crazy. What did you do? What did you do? Did you make a deal? Oh, you didn't. Oh, you were chosen like that before you were even born. Before you even had a mind to think, you were chosen. So why are you going to be? It's the same thing with anything. There's no reason for any of us to boast at all. I'm the greatest musician alive. Okay. Who gave you those vocal cords? Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Who gave you the skill to play that guitar or that bass? Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Who gave you the ability to play those drums? Yahweh Shem Yahushai. What do you have to boast? You haven't done shit. You haven't done a goddamn thing. The Lord gave you all those things. He's the one that's doing he's pulling all the weight. He's the one that made your arm super strong so you can lift, 200 pounds of weight, right? If you're a bodybuilder. What did you do? You didn't do nothing. Well, I trained. Who allowed you to grow? There's some people that go and train and never gain any muscle. It's all through the Lord, man. We got to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay? Like I said, this is kind of a mindset lesson and stuff on top of talking about the elect. All right? This is just how we should be in this truth. And I'm just flowing through the Spirit, so maybe this is something that, some brother or sister out there needs to hear. Because it's, look, man, everything that we have is through Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right? Our life, all right? Our provisions, all right? Everything that we have is through Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So we have to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Be thankful for Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right? That in itself is an elect mindset, okay? Now, because the elect, again, they're while they're going to be found guiltless, all right, there's things that they might do that were terrible, all right? Some of us, in our past, not saying we're part of elect, Lord willing, we are. Some of the stuff we did is just absolutely horrendous. Just absolutely horrendous, man. And you'll never hear us speak of it, all right? You'll hear the apostles, the elders talk about it. There could have been people, in this truth that killed people, all right? Drug dealers, pimps, okay? All sort, even, homosexuals, right? Prior homosexuals. And you'll hear Elder Menatazatba say, he'll say, now, if there was anybody, don't say nothing. We don't need to know, right? So, and there's just certain things we don't talk about, man. You're not gonna say, oh yeah, man, one time this guy came up and for no reason I clocked his ass in the jaw, and I said, run those pockets, fool, all right? And I ganked him right then and there, man, right? You're not gonna hear us talk like that, all right? Even if we did do stuff like that in the past, all right? Because that's old us, and we hate that old us, man. He was a demon. Our old us right now would want to whoop. New us right now would want to whoop old us's ass. Right? Because that's how much we didn't like that person. Right? So, I can attest, I was a piece of shit, man. The drug using, stealing, lying, just nasty fool, man. All right? Just adulterer. All right? Just a piece of shit, man. All right? And we don't want to, be like that. And thank Yahweh Shem Shai, we're past that. All right? And call all Yahweh Shem Shai for that, because we could have been in the same fucking state that we were in. All right, we could have been out there smoking a black and mild. Man, back in the day, I know what type of person I would have been. I'd have been somewhere, hitting a bong, fucking going outside after, fuck, man, smoking a fucking Marlboro Menthol or a Newport, all right, or a Camel Crush, or a fucking Casino or Jazz or wine-flavored black and mild. Yeah, those are the ones I liked. I think Jazz was probably my favorite, the wood tip Jazzes, right? And I'd be out there smoking them, all right? Standing there fucking talking about some dumb shit, right? And then, just doing stupid shit. And probably going out somewhere and doing some more dumb shit, like fucking stealing a hoodie from Walmart on a whim. Real shit, right? So, hey, man, we thank Yahweh Shem Shai for bringing us into this ministry, and we hope we're a part of the elect. All right, because, we've already been through Yahweh Shem Shai. We've already come a long way from our old selves. And, Barak Yahweh Shem Shai for that. And that's just something you always got to give all praise, honor, and glory. In everything you do, all right, give praise, as the scriptures say. So, there's no reason to boast. There's no reason to think that this is anything that we did. All right, even if we are part of the elect, it's nothing that we did. It's all through the grace and mercy of Yahweh Shem Shai. Just like us being in this truth is the grace and the mercy of Yahweh Shem Shai. Because like I said, man, we could be out there right now. That guy you see out there with dreads and those sticky ass fingers because rolling up blunts all day. All right, and those black ass lips from smoking those blunts all day. That could be us still. That could be us. Or that person going to jail because he stole some shit. That could be us. All right. That could be us. Or that person dead in a casket because he went and popped someone else's wife. All right? That could have been us. That could have been us, man. But it's not. So, hey, Barak Yahweh Shem Shai. Because we got pulled out of that wicked mindset, man. And we were dead. Spiritually, we were dead, man. And he brought us back to life. Okay? So, yeah, let's get Matthew 22 and 14. And this is important about what we've been talking about just now. Matthew 22 and 14. Right here, for many are called, but few are chosen. And this is important. Very important, man. For many are called, but few are chosen. Again, for many are called, but few are chosen. A lot of people are going to be called in this ministry. A lot of people are going to wake up to the understanding of, I'm an Israelite. Okay? I'm an Israelite. Because I'm an Israelite. If you remember that. Ridiculous, man. People like that, right? They understand they're Israelites. They're not walking in the right way, man. And am I walking 100% in the right way? I would say probably, I would say no. Because, I'm a harsh critic on myself, man. Is there something, I would say, am I trying to walk on the right path? Yes. Am I 100% perfect? No, man. I have so many gripes with my damn self, right? So I can't say I'm 100% walking in the right way, right? I can't say that. I'm trying and I want to. But, we go off all the time, right? And sometimes I have a fucked up mindset, and I end up panicking, and then I have to go to Yahweh Shem Shai. I shouldn't do that. I should go straight to Yahweh Shem Shai. But the flesh gets on me. Oh shit. Wait, no. I got to go to Yahweh Shem Shai, right? I should be able to just say, nope, Yahweh Shem Shai instantly, right? That would be 100% on the right path, man. And, all of us could be doing better. Every single one of us. There's not one of us that couldn't improve something somewhere. In our logic or in our behavior, right? There's always room for growth. There's always room for improvement, Salakia. So we are attempting to walk down the right path, but it's also, that battle with that flesh, man. And it's not a battle like, I'm eating pork. No, we're not doing anything like that. But, it's one of those things where we're walking that straight and narrow path, but every once in a while there might be a rock, right, that we trip over, all right? And like it says, a just man falls 7 times. And there might be times, where we fall flat, and we look at ourselves and be like, man, I'm fucking disappointed at myself, man. Because here it was, I was leaning into my own understanding, and I was panicking, and I just made it worse for myself, and I should have just trusted in Yahweh Shemi Shai. That was a failure, man. I just failed that test, right? I had an event like that, recently, where I should have been, trusting in Yahweh Shemi Shai, but I was just panicking, and worrying myself sick and getting all worried and up about it. That's not the right path, right? That's not the right path to be walking down, all right? But call all Yahweh Shemi Shai, he guided me back, said, through prayer, and guided me back, said, get back on this path, man. And, and I just had to say, I was wrong. I should have trusted in Yahweh Shemi Shai from the start. I shouldn't have leaned into my own understanding. I shouldn't have panicked and let the flesh get a hold of me and had me thinking, oh, what if this, what if that, what if that? That was wrong. That was off. I went off by doing that. I shouldn't have had all those what ifs and all these. I should have just prayed and let Yahweh Shemi Shai handle it and shut my dumb ass up and just ignored the demons messing with me. But no, I gave in, man. And because of that, I felt like a fool. I felt like I failed a test. Because, like I said, it was a situation with the health. All right, I'm feeling better now. Call all Yahweh Shemi Shai. Some of you that have been watching my lessons recently, I felt sick for like over a week. I'm feeling better now. Call all Yahweh Shemi Shai. But with that sickness, I failed. That's what I'm talking about. Like I was getting worried and panicky, and and panicky. What if it's this? What if it's that? What if it's this? And I shouldn't have even been trying to think, what is it? Because I think it was just an illness, and then my teeth on top of it. So I've been trying to get this dental work going. But I was like, oh, what if it's this? What if it's not my teeth? What if it's this? What if it's that? What if it's this? And that's why I said I felt fucking disappointed, and because that's not the way I should have been, man. I should have just trusted in Yahweh Shemi Shai. This is going to be over soon. I'm going to feel better soon. End it with that. No, I did dumb shit, like looking shit up. All right? What if it's this? What is this? This symptom. Oh, my God. What if it's this? Oh, no. What if it... that, and I felt like I failed. Right? And that's my testimony, man. And you don't want to do that. All right? That's not how you want to be. All right? So we got to walk on the straight and narrow path. And sometimes, we might have that rock or trip over and fall over in the other path. That's why we got to pray to Yahweh Shemi Shai, and he'll yank us by our collar. Nope, get back over here, right? Because you don't want that demon to have a latch on you and bring you over to that left path, man. You want to be on the right path, not the left one, on the right. All right, you want to be on the right, and through Yahweh Shemi Shai, he'll drag us back on the right one. But so I'll change up what I said. We're on the right path, all right, and I'll say I'm on the right path, but I won't say that sometimes, you might stumble and you might fall very dangerously close to that left path, but you don't want to start stepping down that path, man. All right, and that fear, man, those demons, that's what they're there to do, man. They're temptation, all right, and they'll try to get you, to fear instead of trust, all right, and not a healthy fear of Yahweh Shemi Shai, but like a fleshly fear, okay, when you should be trusting in Yahweh Shemi Shai, and that's not something you want, man. So a little bit of a ramble there. Somebody needed to hear it, I'm sure. But yeah, man. So many people are going to be called in this truth, but like it says, for many are called, but few are chosen. We got to make sure we continue on that right path, okay? Because there's going to be people that go on that left path and or stumble and they fall all the way in that left path and they don't get back on that right path, okay? And there's big ones that'll set you right off the course. There's big things. You can't accidentally go and commit adultery and come back, or start eating pork and then come back, or start smoking weed and then come back, or be a homosexual and then come back. No. All right? Once you know this truth and you're down that path, there's not going to be big hiccups like that. You're going to have battles with the flesh and thoughts and, certain actions that you wish you wouldn't have done, all right, or ways that you thought that you wish you wouldn't have done, but it's not going to be something like, oh, I went and ate pork and now I feel bad, I'm going to come back. No, you shouldn't do like that. Now, you might have things like that when you first come into the truth and you're still learning, but that's not something that, a year or two in the truth, that's probably not going to come back from that, man. That's a big one. All right. That's a big one. So yeah, man. So you got to hope and pray to Yahweh Shem Yahushai that we, we're actually chosen, because we're called. Many are called. All right. But few are chosen. So let's continue on. And let's get Matthew 13:10 here. Fantastic scripture. It's like if it's a little rambly, bear with me while I grab this drink. Got this blackberry sage lemonade from Starbucks while I was out. It's pretty decent. I'm not sure how healthy it is. It's probably not healthy at all, but tastes herbal. Probably about as good as you can get at a Starbucks. But Matthew 13 in verse 9, it says, "Who hath ears to hear, let him hear." Again, red letter, Yahushua speaking. "And the disciples came and said unto him, Why speakest thou unto them in parables?" Why are you speaking in code, Lord? Why are you speaking in code? It might not be easier for everybody to understand, right? Verse 11, "He answered and said unto them, Because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given." So we're blessed already in this state right now that we can understand these things. Because there's people that hear the name Yahweh Shem Yahushai and they're like, what is that? What's that mean? All right. Or they'll say, like that dumbass on my comment board saying, making fun of the Hebrew, right? And all that, just it's sickening. And or not understanding things like the elect, not understanding that not all people can be grafted in, not understanding that our bloodline goes through through our fathers. They don't understand those things, right? They don't get it. They don't got it. But we're blessed to understand those things, right? So let's get Let's go to verse 12. It says, For whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken away even that he hath. Therefore I speak to them in parables, because they see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which saith, By hearing ye shall hear, and shalt not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and shalt not perceive. So let me tell you, I'll come back to that. Let me get verse 15. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them. That's if Yahweh Shem Yahushua reaches out to them. But blessed are your eyes, that's us that are in this truth, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them. A lot of people want this. Vocab Malone wants this so bad, and he doesn't have it. It says, has desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them. Now, like I said, I had to go, these past few days, I've been at these dental appointments because my teeth are so bad. They got to get fixed, man. Really, they got to go, all right? I don't need to share all my business with you. I consider, the brothers and sisters here like family. So, if you hear me sounding weird in the coming weeks, it's because I have a lot of tooth removals. Almost all my tops got to go. I'm going to get a partial denture. It's going to be weird. All right, I don't know how I'm gonna make a lesson for that. I'm gonna try to figure out how I can do. Lord willing, I'm well and good enough to make a lesson. It might sound weird with my teeth. If anything, I will sit down and, to the best of my ability, I will put together a little mini clip of like scriptures. I'll have AI voice it over or something like that. And then I'll have like maybe, some AI images and something edifying. Maybe a little 10-minute little clip I put together, a video edit or something, because I can't feel comfortable doing nothing. I can't feel comfortable doing nothing. I got to do something, even if it's a 5-minute little clip with the AI guy, or a voiceover Bible. If I won't be able to speak, that something will be out there for the you got to eat, right? You got to eat, and I got to feed you, brothers and sisters, through Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, because the sheep got to eat, man. And if anything, you might not get a full meal, just a snack, unfortunately. But hey, Lord willing, I'm overthinking. Lord willing, through Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, I won't even be in that much pain, and I'll be able to talk. Now, again, like I said, in these coming weeks, they said in about 6 months, if we're even here in 6 months, I have to get a full metal. I guess they said at first they're going to give me a plastic. It's mostly for appearance, partial denture, and it's going to basically be clipped in, and not really for eating. It's mostly just so, because my front teeth can be gone. I'm going to have like my 2 canines. I'm going to be looking like a vampire, and be clipped right in. I guess little metal brackets, and I guess you might use some paste to hold it in. And then some of my bottom teeth got to go. We're not going to do anything on the bottom. I'm just sharing with you, and like I said, keeping y'all in the loop in case you, because I know 50 Cent got shot twice in the mouth, and that's why he sounds like he sounds now. I was thinking of that at the dentist. I said, it might change the way I sound. So if you notice in the coming weeks, because I got the removal coming out on Monday, and hey, you brothers and sisters, please pray for me if you will. I know I'm gonna be praying, get these teeth out, because they're bad, they're rotten. It's just one of those things you don't like to have to go, but even the brothers, the elders, and they'll say, look, certain things you gotta go, man, like for. And this is unfortunately one of those ones I've been putting it off for 10 years. It's bad. It's making me sick, basically, my teeth. So, through Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, I said, all right, this is what I need to do. Through the Lord, and he's been guiding me through it. So call all Yahweh Bashem Yahushua for that. But I might sound weird in the next coming weeks. Might sound like this or something. I don't know, because however my teeth are gonna be. I don't know. I might sound like the Don from fucking Godfather. But wanted to keep you brothers and sisters in the loop. If I sound weird, you know why. I don't know if I'll leave it in this lesson. I might make a little update saying if I sound weird, you know why. But or if why the lesson schedule will be why it is. Like I said, Lord willing, that won't happen. I'm just thinking ahead. But, I might make a lesson. It might sound weird, but it'll get done, even if it's a little 10-minute, little 5-minute clip that's got to get hit. So, man. So, keeping y'all up on that. But speaking of the dentist, I was sitting there today in that chair, praying silently within my mind, as you should when you're around those facilities. Dentists are better than going to the hospital. I don't fucking like going to those places at all. I don't even like going to the dentist either. But when he was touching my teeth and, finding which one's got to be removed and stuff, I don't even remember what he was saying. Like, complex, on one, something on blah, 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 monosodu on 34. But it was something, and I was thinking in my head, this, and I mentioned all that to keep you guys in the loop, and then to two, let you know about a spiritual thought that I had when I was there, explaining why I was in the dentist. It was the first why I did that, and now I can tell you. But while I was saying that, I said, you know what? I don't understand a damn thing he's saying at all right now. And I said, you know what? This must be what it's like for those that aren't in the truth when they hear these things. They must be like, huh? What? What are you talking about? Right? And you'll have that from time to time. People are like, what are you talking about? What are you talking? That's not in the scriptures. What are you talking about? And then you show them, you're like, that is in the scriptures. It's right here. And they go, oh, okay. And then they kind of just scamper off because they didn't know, right? And it would be as dumb as me arguing with that dentist saying, well, what did you say, a complex on 3? I don't think there's a complex on 3. I don't even what am I talking about? I have no idea what I'm talking. Why am I going to argue with this guy that obviously knows what's about teeth, right? And that's, I wanted to bring that up, especially because that's through the Spirit that in Matthew 13:10 through 16, because that's what I was thinking about today. I didn't even realize this was in here. Like I said, I put this together like 3 years ago, 3 years ago, and it was. I thought about that, and it's through the Spirit that exact scripture's here, because there's going to be certain people that just don't get it. And I bet if, that dentist, if he heard complex 2 or whatever, I'm probably not even pronouncing it right, he'd be like, oh, I know what that is, 100%. 100% I know what that is. Now, I imagine it's complex removal. Like, it's going to be a complex extraction, maybe? That's, or something like that. or a complex damage. I don't know, something like that, but I don't really know. And that's going to be people like that aren't in this truth when they try to understand the truth. They're like, well, is it this? Does it mean no? It doesn't mean. What does it mean then? All right, and that guy could be like, oh, it's complex, this and that, because you have a so and so and rudimentary blah 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 blah. I'm like, I didn't go to school for this, so I don't understand. I don't know, right? It's like the same thing when people come around this truth, and they ask to be like let known, like, oh, well, just tell them, explain that. Well, it doesn't really work like that, right? Because if we explain like, oh, not every nation can be grafted in, then we have to explain the nations. And then we have to explain, oh, the nations are different than Israel, and then why is Israel different, and then who Lord chose, and that the Lord chose Israel. And then we got to go to the scriptures that prove that the Lord did choose Israel. And then we have to go and prove that, see, look, he never ever had anybody else that wasn't an Israelite, that was one of his chosen, or that was one of his people. All right? And then you have to go and prove that, and then show family lines, and then you have to talk about, oh, it goes back to family lines, and then you have to show about, how the process of, declaring their pedigrees, then you have to go and get that scripture, all right, and then their fathers, and then again, you have to go back. So it's a lot of times people are like, oh, can you just explain this? And it's not that simple, man. This is a truth that you have to grow in, right? There's things that we know now. If we didn't know a whole thing, it's like a puzzle piece, right? You can't see the picture with if we give you one piece, and that one piece you're not even going to get anyway. You're barely going to even understand that one piece. You're not going to understand the picture. Oh, here it is. This is green. What is it? Well, can't you see the whole picture? No. Give me another one. Okay, I can give you another one, but we're going to have to keep going and going and going and going. But the thing is, a lot of time with these people that aren't in this truth, they'll just lose that puzzle. Well, where'd the other one go? Well, see, you're forgetting part of the picture. What did you do with the one I just showed you? I don't know. I didn't understand it. Give me another one. Man, you're not getting it, man. You're not getting the full picture. But if you're, in this truth, all right, and the Lord's dealing with you, you'll collect those puzzle pieces, and okay, I see. And over the years that we've been in this ministry and this truth, you keep those puzzle pieces added up. And man, once you look back, after a year or two, or even that first year, you look back at that puzzle piece and you're like, whoa, wow. You start out and you're like, man, I know who Esau is, and why Esau did all the way he did, and that we're Jake and the curses, and why we're going through what we're going through right now. And that we're the chosen people and these people aren't, and that they're lying. This makes sense with Esau. Oh my gosh, man. It makes sense now. And it's kind of like, the secrets of the universe are revealed unto you, because really they are. And you're like, oh my gosh, I understand everything now. All right. Well, you don't understand everything, but you understand a big portion of like why the world is the way it is, why the so-called white man is the way he is, why Jake is why the so-called black people and Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, why we are the way we are. And why we're living in the places that we're living, and why we're not prospering as much as Esau, and why we're not, and it's you just step back and you're like, wow, man, that's really interesting, right? And there's people out here that are still wondering, oh, what's the meaning of life? The meaning of life is one of the simplest answers. The meaning of life is to serve Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Boom, that's it. Do the will of the Father. That's it. Bam, right? That's it. Okay, and dedicated service, right? So let's get Romans 11:7, a little bit rambly, filling you in with my business and stuff like that, which, I don't know. I just wanted to make sure, don't like sharing a whole bunch of private information, but it's one of those things that probably should keep the brothers and sisters in the loop, since it's going to potentially change how I speak. So, slack you for the whole personal life dump, because this ain't about me. At the end of the day, this is about Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. I just wanted to fill y'all in, so you knew, if you're understanding, because I know if I was watching a lesson, the guy starts talking all different all of a sudden, like, what the hell happened? What happened to this guy? Why does his voice sound different? They replaced this motherfucker? Right? No, but keeping it in there. So let's get Romans 11:7. Continuing on really with a lot of the same stuff from Matthew 13:10 in the same vein. So Romans, as you can see, 11:7. What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded. Verse 8, it says, according as it is written, Yahweh hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear unto this day. And David saith, let their table be made a snare and a trap and a stumbling block and a recompense unto them. Let their eyes be darkened that they may not see, and bow down their back all way. So, you know, that's that, man. That's how it goes. And not all of Israel. Not all of Israel is going to be saved. We touched on that a little bit yesterday. You know, not all of Israel is going to be saved just because, you know, I'm an Israelite. Okay, now what? Kanye West knows he's an Israelite. All right, he's making songs about blowing his cousin, right? Which, you know, could have been a form of sexual assault that happened to him or whatnot. We don't know the full story, but it's a little weird that you've made a fucking song about it. All right, and but we know he's a controversy fucking guy. He plays off controversy and shit, but it's a little weird. You know, and I've heard it said, you know, it might have been something that the elite were going to blow out, so he decided to come out with it before they could do it. Or it could have been one of those, you know, illuministic humiliation rituals. Who knows, man? Who knows? But, you know, Kyrie Irving knows he's an Israelite, and he retracted. So I'm sorry to the Ish community. You know, and Kanye did the same thing. Keep a few Jews on the staff now, right? With that song on Vultures. So, you know, some of these dudes know they're Israelites. What is that? So what? You know you're an Israelite, right? What are you gonna do with it, right? You know, all right. If you know, but you're not gonna do anything, you're not gonna change. What's the point of knowing, right? What's the point of knowing? You're not gonna stop and dedicate your life to Yahweh Shemi Shai. What's the point of you knowing? What was the point? Oh, I'm an Israelite. Okay, all right, buddy. You do you, man. Keep on chugging along. That's it. Yep, I know I'm an Israelite. You gonna keep the law? No. You gonna pray more? Nah. You gonna stop smoking weed? Nope. I know I'm an Israelite, though. I know who I go back to. And you just don't give a shit about your Lord then? You know you're an Israelite, which means you know you're the only one that has a power. You should know Yahweh Shemi Shai, and you know that, and you're just going to turn your back on the Lord? Fuck you, man. Fucking assholes, right? That's what I said it. Fuck you, you motherfuckers. You know, you're going to, here it is. That's worse than if you just didn't ever know, and you were just some dumbass, rock-headed ass, knuckle-dragging ass hood rat, right? You'd be better off than that, knowing you're an Israelite and then turning your back on the Lord. Fucking assholes, man. A lot of Jake is just assholes, man. As I think, you hear Elder Menatazatba say that a lot. GMS South Carolina, he said Jake's an asshole, right? It's true. Jake's a fucking asshole, man. And that our people are just ugh, you know, backsliding children, stubborn. All right, another one, backsliding, stubborn. All right, sottish children. Another, wise do evil, but they do good and they have no knowledge. A degenerate vine. All right, what else? Many different names have been put on Israel, man, by the Lord, because it's how they act. So this is Matthew 24 and 29. And didn't I get this yesterday? I might have. I can't remember. But, yeah. This is Matthew 24 and 29. And this is where we're going to close out. This will be part 2, and that'll be pretty much finished up. Verse 29, it says, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. So that's those nuclear. Now, this was the other day when I was actually at my desk, and I showed the Bible that I have. Right? That actually shows that. And that's the nuclear missiles falling to Earth, right? Those stars, all right? And dealing with, you know, Judgment Day. This is Armageddon, or in the Hebrew tongue, Armageddon, right? So in 30 it says, and then shall the sign of the Son of Man, Yahushai, in heaven, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. Yeah, we were talking about this. I got this when we were dealing with the chariots. All right, as Esau likes to call it, the UFOs, the IFOs, or UAPs, or UAEs, or whatever it is now they're calling them. All right, they're chariots. All right, and verse 31 it says, and he shall send his angels. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. So the elect, the elect, the elect. Who's going to be saved? The elect. Who's the Lord dealing with? The elect. Who? That's it. The elect. The elect, the elect, the elect. Elect means chosen. The chosen of Israel. The chosen of Israel. The chosen of Israel. Isaiah 1:9. A very small remnant. A very small remnant. The chosen elect of Israel. Okay? Not everyone's going to make it, man. Lord willing, we make it. I myself, you brothers, you sisters out there, and our families, right? And families meaning our households, right? Our wives and children and whatnot, right? And, it'd be great if our parents would get saved too, but some of them, we know that they're far gone, man. So, but yeah, man, that's the lesson, all right? The elect of Israel. And that's who the Lord's dealing with, is the elect of Israel. No one else. The elect of Israel. So we're going to close out there. Lord was edifying. Slakia for the little bit of the rambliness and personal details. Like I said, hope it wasn't off or anything or bugged out sound. And I just wanted to keep you brothers and sisters in an informed mode. But yeah, man, that's the lesson. Again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. I want to say shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Until next one, Lord willing. Shalom.